Hi y'all, happy official full moon. I got my picnic bench today, so we be on the table. Hold on. Technical adjustments. There we go. Hope your day is well. Happy Sagittarius energy in full bloom. Temperance, what up? Fire energy, setting flame to the imbalances and calling in divine retribution. As above, so below, divine circle of protection surrounds us now. We call in the truth, wisdom, and the way by golden energy. All evil eye and ill intentions are returned to sender and mirrored back into a hater's existence. Okay, let's see. We got 6th house, establishing a foundation, health, daily life, and practical details. A lot of, Sagittarius touches the ground and the air, the water, and the stars. So calling in your sovereignty, your healing, your divinity, or grounding in more of the ancestral traumas and curses and low vibrations. We need to live in both worlds, in light and dark, but it's how we choose to ascend through them or put them outside of ourselves as in intentions and actions. Trine, angelic support and perfect flow. We have cryon, hurt and heal. Cryon, our cryon placement, we should know because that's like usually where our wounds are. Like my cryon is in Cancer, so that was like abandonment and what is that? Abandonment and rejection. And I through my life and like betrayals, I definitely learned through that. But hey, it ascended me. Look at this. Spirituality, transcendence, karma, sacrificial service, and healing. House 12. It's Piscean energy. Yeah. I'm just getting an overall view of the energy. We have severe weather warnings here where I am because we have, what are they called? Wildlife fires per the usual. Like maybe pray for the animals and hope that they can move fastly to safety. Trust, passion, and sensuality. The creative Taurus Empress energy, the mother. Smells weird. Okay, let's see what else we're gonna get into. Oh, look at cute little doggies. Cute little dog. I think I'm gonna start with the Hermetic Tarot. I usually prefer Oracle cards, but I've been guided to use my black and white tarot cards. Yeah, Prince of the Chariot of the Earth. God's coming home. The true God. Y'all will know who I think that is, but that's a whole other story. Lord of Wealth. Yeah, 10 of Pentacles. A lot of you star seeds. Yeah, Spirit of the Mighty Waters, the Hanged Man. Are you bound to this earthly realm without your connection to the higher stars? We have the Ankh in reverse here. This reminds me of a very earthly man who is cut off from their spirituality. And through this temperance energy, it might be your last chance as divine, capable to be divine masculines, to activate yourselves and to enter into the waters, your emotions, and to create from a place other than just ego and greed. We have the Rosicrucian cross on here. And the serpent biting his ankle, his Achilles here. Yeah, lust. Are you driven by lust? Or are you driven by, your soul? We all have divine feminine and masculinity within us. It's just, do we choose to activate our own creativity and our own emotional intelligence so that we can be aware of what we feel? Because what you feel is what is triggering you. And the more you avoid certain things, the bigger and the more you magnetize that towards you for your experience. Yeah, the wind. And we have Daughter of the Lord of Truth, Justice, Balance, Yin and Yang. There we go. Libra energy, she's got her Aries horns on, meaning the Godhead. Very connected and grounding the truth to the earth. You know, the divine feminines have been having to be in this physical realm holding it down. You know, men are supposed to be the protectors, the masculine, and then divine feminine, the spiritual gnosis, the knowing, the one that gets the messages. That's why religion tries to demonize the feminine energy, because they can't understand it, but they could if they weren't so busy causing power moves. And then we have the daughter of the firmament. I don't really know what that word means. Firmament. I'm gonna look it up. I can't. My phone's up here. Sorry, guys. If you can look it up and put it in the comments, I would appreciate that, but I'll probably do it on my way. Continuing on my walk, we have the Tree of Life, sacred geometry here. And look, in this middle, the star energy reminds me almost of the Temperance energy here. Done by my nails, gotta do those too. The peacock, the light bringer. Yeah, the healer. Like, yeah, this is it, y'all. We're at such a pivotal time as we move into the new Kali Yuga in the age of Aquarius, that those who have the sacred DNA, like the Christed DNA and the Mary Magdalene DNA, the dragon codes, really need to be in alignment, or at least intentionally doing it. We have the black sun here, yeah, or else you'll be taken by the black sun, the Judists. You know, an indecision is still a decision. It's still a choice to choose. And look at all these crooked swords, and it looks like a bear trap type thing, and these eyeballs down here. Ugh. Just like sewing your swimmers into such a toxic yeah, cruel femininity energy. A lot of you are slaves to needy people, and a man and a woman that needs to be needed, that's very codependent. Like, once you're out of what they need, it's on to the next, and who's going to fill you up? Who's going to charge you up? This message took a deep turn. Yeah, that's where we're going with this. I love the tarot. Like, I wonder if I can show you the sun setting over here. Can you see it? A little bit. We got Helios. What up, G? Ra. Father Ra. It depends where you're at and what you're doing. It's really nice out there today. Should I pull up my super stack? Actually, I'm going to pull up my double tarots. It's beautiful out, minus the smoke. We got the kids playing in the background, laughing and happy, and people walking their dogs and connecting to the earth, and like, that's what I love to see, you know. Like, Lenny Kravitz is like one of my favorite like masculine energies in the bigger stage, and like Adam Sandler, because he's funny, you know, he's a family man. He's like, I don't know what they do behind closed doors, but this is just what I get. Lenny Kravitz is very in tune with his like femininity. You know, I think he's been celibate too for quite some time, which I dig. Living in Freya, whatever I know. But just to show what it is to be like masculine and femininity, like even women can be too masculine. Like, even when I was in my toxic masculinity, oh hi little bug, it was like chasing, and you know, I was like, if I can't beat them, join them, or like I'll play the player, you know, like many moons ago. Yeah, strength, taming the beast. You know, we all have a beast within a daemon that like we can use to protect us, to move through this earthly realm, like our ego. As a trained ego, like even I once had to, I didn't have to, but I did take my ego out, and then, you know, we need our ego for like warning us in survival, but then I had to reintegrate it and like bring it back in, and then like train it to like observe and listen. And we have like the I, the id, and the is, or the I am, the id, and the is. Sigmund Freud. I was just thinking about him earlier today. But it's like, who who is the observer, because we all have one, and that's usually the I am presence that can just watch without attachment. And then there's like the one that runs off of like emotions, and most people are around by their feelings, but they're not emotionally intelligent. So it's like if you don't know what you're feeling, then you're running right into what you're avoiding, like the pain body. And the Emperor. Some of you are getting into your man stuff. And this is for my females too. Ready to take like big action in your spiritual sense and your new beginning, the Ace of Pentacles. Or some of you have an Emperor coming in to bring you the Ace of Pentacles. And not just like organization, leadership, and structure. You're creating your spiritual businesses. You're really going to put yourself out there. And the masculines too, see, he's got his world in his hand. He's not ruled by the world. And 4 is grounding. It's the foundation. You know, he's got his wings. And the purple's royalty. I love to see that. You know, it can also represent a father, which we had, you know, dad coming home, like the true father. And just because you're a dad doesn't mean you're an emperor. It could just mean that you're so in your royal oats, you know. And hopefully you are a very present father. You know, show up for your kids. We have the 9 of Wands. Yeah, she's not nudie. She's just dressed very saucy. She's busting out. She's got her like sacred runes, like letting her out the ancestors. You know, the wild hair, the dark feminine, the Lilith coming out to like conquer. You know. I love that. Yeah. You know, coming out of the cages that the patriarch has put us in, put the femininity in, the mother in. 6 earth, clarity, generosity, and windfall. You have investment, assessment, and patience. 7 of earth, 6 of earth. Oh my god, it's my favorite Pokemon. Backpack, what's its name? What's his name? Ditto, the pink one, I think. 9 of Pentacles. And the hack on her hand. Yeah. It's all coming. All the sacred, all the spiritual, all the ancient women, like the elder women, like the ones that were silenced, like pre-Rome, pre-religion, that were all burnt and persecuted. And you know, some of y'all still be trying to persecute the healers and the women that are different, that have the sights, and everything is like, it's like mirroring back, like it's gonna be like this big boomerang, like this like flip. And I keep hearing like in a blink of an eye, like when we wake up, it's gonna be like we're on a whole other trajectory. We're just gonna wake up and the world's gonna feel lighter. The animals are gonna be safe, like. And the ones that are just grounded to the world, like this hangman was, like just living off of that egoic black box energy, are just going to be left without no essence of divine sparks. They're going to be emptying the material world. Like, you know, like in the Matrix, how it's just so like gray, like pasty green, like military green. Yo, it's tempering. Yeah, we got sirens going. Like, what's that? I've never seen that movie, but The Purge, I think it is, kind of. Yeah, choices over analyzing and procrastination, and challenge, determination, and resilience. We have 7-7 here. A lot of the collective has had their eyes on the wrong things, investing their attention and perception into the false world. Sorry, this reading is really I'm trying to hold back the severity of how bad it is, because, you know, I don't want to shooketh anybody, but damn. Meditation, recuperation, and contemplation, like the inner child here. Yeah, it's gonna be the grand divide has been in like slow like movement, but as our magnetic pole shift and as our planets are aligning, and as these moons, these are all omens, these are all signs that, you know, what has been prophesized is inescapable. And then we have the Chariot. This reminds me of like mother, father coming home. Yeah, for the Hermits, for all those that went in and did the inner work and found their light. Willpower, victory, and recognition. Congratulations, freedom fighters. We got 15:15 on the timer. And the ambulance is going crazy. I did want to pull some of these chakra cards. So we gotta go to a tree where I just left to something else. I was actually having so many dreams, like puppies in my dream last night. So many puppies. And pretty fun, wild, just, I don't even know. My dreams seem like they're like, not sitcoms, but like some type of TV shows. Like, it's wild. And I'm not gonna keep this too long so I can come back and do another one. Yeah, look, we have like this trash, which I'm gonna pick up after because the trash can is right here. We have the trash. We have the trash can. Can you see it? Yeah, you can see it. Yeah, we'll just get that done. Yes. Sexuality here, openness, sharing, beauty, and honor. Ooh, a lot of you are gonna come into your alchemical, sorry, that was definitely, that did happen. You're gonna really come into your alchemical, creative co-partners up in here. Hey. You masculines that have been like holding your standards, you're really gonna get your goddesses out here. You know, a lot of all of us have been tested by very karmic, very lustful entities, like empty bodies that don't have spiritual gnosis or souls, and yeah, emotions, like these type of people, and that don't change. They just keep chasing their earthly desires, and you know, they'll probably be contacting you or like trying to come into your energy, friends, ex-lovers, ex-family, like to try to suck you back in, and it's like no contact. Nope, we are no longer of the same world. Like even I had some deep mother wound clearing with my family, and I can officially see just the weight of the karmic ancestral karmas and cycles that have been in my bloodline for a long time, like lifting up. Like both my grandmothers passed away, the matriarch, and they're with me every step of this whole way in their whole strength now through the astral and the ancestral realm. But like I can see it in the women in my family, like free, like some, you know, there's a point where I was no contact with my family and like the women in my family, but like as my forgiving self and knowing of my journey and my purpose, like it's beautiful to see them lighter and, you know, returning back into the presence without possession, you know. Tangerine, be spontaneous and fun. What is this one here? We got orange, the orange world. This one you take it as. Get your vitamin C in. And self-expression. These are 2 decks. Vocalization, individuality, inner voice, and assertiveness. And 17 is also the star. We had the star come out earlier. It's like a bird. Communication, you know. This is the blue avians. Like a lot of us are going to truly have our galactic DNA activated, and the star systems that bless us with their higher dimensional kisses through our DNA. A lot of you are the all-stars, and a lot of all-stars are here from whatever star system it is, whether they be of low vibration or of high vibration. This is like the culmination of returning the energies back into center. It's like being undone but being like brought forth and reborn all at the same time. Like, if that makes sense. It's like, you know, like when they show in like sci-fi movies how like a wormhole, or like the black hole's like a ripple, or it goes back into itself, and then it's like swallows, and then it all mixes and it like spits out. But like all the distortion is gonna just be in distortion in the low vibrations, like where it is, like as it is, and then the light can no longer be pulled outside of the keepers of it to fuel or feed by projection and by like attention, because it's just going to be still within itself without believing the falsehoods, because like, say like if we're gonna talk demonology, right? If we have like the demonology of lust, right? It's like, you know, people could be tricked into being lustful by faulty beliefs or doctrines or teachings or programming and like generational, ancestral, you know, the corn industry, all these things, right? And I'll talk more about all of that too, because I was indoctrinated into all of that stuff too through family lines, and I came to fight that principality a lot and turn it back into the original origin, which is healing and creative energies, right? But like, where the ones that are more succubus and succubi, they will become the keepers of that lust, and it'll be very shown and seen. Like you can't cloak in the energy of truth if you, like in the energy of like truth without being that truth. So the truth will be seen as the lusty, like, you know, like creaturey, or like the, like holy healing creation, you know, divinity. So like, it won't be able to be hidden. So like, if like say the demon of lust, right? It's like, okay, so now everybody's going to be seen as that lust from that line of that demon that created its beings in such an image. And then say like the Christed ones, you know, like say the religious factor of like, okay, Jesus, they're worshiping death in the body. Jesus was one of the greatest sorcerers, and his truth was covered for a long time, just like Mary Magdalene's, okay? And like, to me, the P word that they say Mary Magdalene is like, that is of this world, is just giving yourself outside of yourself without truth of what you're putting into. So then the true Christ consciousness, DNA activated ones will be the shining golden light, because they will be the unconditional love bearers. You know, it's like Lucifer. Like, you can't have Lucifer in like his fallen form, then he's the devil, because now he's earthly and he's like of ego. Where like Lucifer, before he fell, he was still one of God's favorite angels, and he was the light bearer. So everything's going back to its origin. It's just like tree, you know. You could have a tree and you could spray paint it black, but at its core it's still a tree, right? And then you could have some, I don't know, this is such a bad example. And then you could have like just a painting of a tree painted black, but it's still gonna be just like a cement wall that it's like graffitied on. Like, it's just what it is. And that's the temperance, and that's the grand separation back into oneness. It's like anything, anyone, any entity that was against the one body of wholeness is now blocked out of the one, because they are being charged with treason and with just such foul things that nobody that is of the law of oneness would actually, with their will, do. You know, like the M word, taking another life. Because how can you take another life and not expect your life to be fully gone? Like, I even think like, if somebody is to get like murked, I think it's the pure shock and terror that another human being could willingly take their life that just like shocks them out of this physical realm. Like, it's like, what the heck? Like, when the soul to like empty hole is like face to face with that, it's like, holy crap. Like, how can a human betray another human and think to take a life, you know? Just like with like all this meat eating, like we should be raising our own animals and like giving them such love and care and treating them so well, and then like with integrity, like taking the life into a life, like not just these slaughterhouses and stuff. So it's like we're really faced with these moral things our whole life leading up to here, up to this very day of the Sagittarian full moon. You know, we have our first and I think only Friday the 13th coming up in June, this Friday, right? And that's gonna be like the 13, like the mother, the 6, the Cancer, the The divine feminine. Yeah, exactly. 21-3, the true, like, what is that? What do you call it? The triangle. The trine, right? Like, when we were just in Taurus, a lot of us were activated to the true golden trine of the feminine, you know, with mother, child, father, you know, like God Father, God the Mother. And we have the frequency of divine feminine supports your receptive, nurturing, and soft side, allowing it to express itself openly and helping us to connect to our intrinsic understanding of our connection to all creation. Law of one. I think that's where we began, right? With the divine feminine and all bodies needing to hold it and have it held within them. So I think that's where we're going to end up. Yeah, so congratulations to those who have alchemically transmuted all the distortions and are standing in the opening. You know, in the beginning. This is the new beginning. We're at the 0 point, like the whole, like the Om. Because like the one is, like, say, the masculine energy, like the stick. But that's not necessarily the law of one. I think the law of one is like the 0, the all-encompassing whole. And we have realization. The frequency of realization supports the internal process of becoming aware of our heart-centered truth, as well as the external process of becoming our highest expression in this world. And that goes into like yesterday's message too. The seat of our soul, that's where our lower chakras and our higher chakras meet to activate in our center and to like into our love, into where we hold truth to what leads us. Like your heart will always take you to where you're needed to. It might not always end good, but it will teach you who you are. And if your heart is not on and your heart chakra is closed and rotten and calcified and petrified, I'm sorry, but you are not of the living. You are the walking sleepers, or the empty vessels who are of the material realm, who need others to pour into you emotions and reactions and projections and perceptions. It's like TikTok, it is our severing, you know. Thank you for teaching us all lessons and for giving us opportunity to activate into our center so that we may wholly go home. Holy with the H-O. No, with the W-H. Whole. Not like H-O. Yeah, that was deep. But that's okay. Yeah, we can't mourn something that's not actually real. We can only transmutate and return back to the stars, where we come from, y'all. See, more star energy. I'm gonna get a little Archangel Raphael card. The healing angel, also green, also of the heart. I'll come back and after I ground all this energy, you know. Yeah, and like if you made it, you made it. What up? Like, good for you. And this is back of the card. And we have sobriety. Yes. Yeah. Something else I also had to clear too, you know. Had my backslides and my, you know, my party times, and you know, my archetype is the party girl for a long time, and some of the best times I had, but not something I'm gonna stay in forever, right? Everybody has their calling to like get that out of them, but don't stay in that, okay? Dear Divine and Archangel Raphael, thank you for adjusting my cravings in healthful directions so that I only desire life-affirming foods and beverages. And that's like choosing the purity of the soul. Like not just in like what the church says or religion says, but in what makes you feel good and what makes you feel activated. And look, detoxification. Yeah, dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for cleaning up my body, mind, and life so that I may happily and healthily live free from chemicals. That's like of the world too. And if you're struggling with that, like, you can just choose yourself. Change the feeling that you associate with the habit and go deep. Like, go into the hermit, like we had come up. The hermit will tell you why you feel the need to disassociate or to detach in that way. You know, a lot of us have learned unhealthy coping. Oh, that girl has such beautiful red hair. What up, Lilith? Hey, see? What you excited now? See, we're hyping up. What up? You know, because like some of us learned bad behaviorisms from family that was coping in low vibrational ways because they didn't have the chance to learn or to even settle down enough out of survival mode to want a difference, right? Like even my mother, like with cannabis even being legal, like she's gonna be in retirement soon and she just wants to like detox from that stuff. And I'm just so proud of her and for my feminine line on my matriarch side, because that just means that even the valleys of the shadows that I've had to go through now can set my family free, because I've had to detoxify a lot of things from my life. And you know, to the point where I'm just, my choice is not to engage in it. I could, and I can transmute that, but I just don't want to do that anymore. Like, I'll still have my wine, okay? Maybe a cocktail here and there, but not like to black out or, you know, get too slizzard. Sure, like, I just can't anyway. Even after I quit, like, consuming like alcohol a lot, like I was just like, I had like my first, it was like a slushy daiquiri, and I was like, my stomach was like, you know, like when your blood gets so thin, I was like, oh, yeah, my body can't even, rejecting. So yeah, like healthier choices, because the will to want to experience life detoxified from things that keep you stuck or ruminating on these things. 322, you know, just the desire isn't there anymore. There I go for a short message, right? Okay, it's okay. Okay, I got a couple of my homemadies here. We have transmutation, alchemy, and biology. Shout out to you, generational curse breakers. Shout out to you, okay? Oh my God, a little emotional. My eyes are already watering because of the smoke out here. Only love is true. Heart clearing, cleansing, restoration, replenishment, renovations. You are the love you seek. Embodiment, I am presence. You are love. So you are love. So lack of love is an illusion. You are it all. Give and take. Give and receive self. No need to need or seek. 444. You are whole. You are the presence of the existence of what your heart desires. Well, yeah, there we go. So cheers to you, and keep your heart on and do you, boo-boos. We did it. We made it. We're here. Okay, I'm gonna get one closing card. I'm gonna do another message after. I gotta go. The angel. No, I've had some purification. This is the angel of perfection. In my real self, life is eternal, wisdom is infinite, love is abundant, and beauty is perfection. All that is complete and whole is perfect. The white dove does not need to wash for whiteness, neither does the flower in the field beg for fragrance. The more natural and spontaneous the gesture, the closer to the perfection. To overemphasize the need for perfection may push away the possibility to channel the perfection of who we really are in every moment of our lives. So just let it flow, you know, like don't force anything. Like the best thing, like they always say, like too, in like the clairs, like the first thing that pops into your head is the most correct thing. And this is like, just be you, be authentic. Like judgments are a lie, like judge not or ye be judged. And perfection is an illusion unless it is of divine alignment, and it is the truth of what is, and that is just flow and the I am present. you know, there's no need to wear a mask anymore in this new world. Everything and everyone is as it is accepted, you know, whether we choose to engage with it or attach to it, that is up to this